All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Wrap Haven 2019 first team Zoom. I'm so excited. Noelle Cruz, Presidential Diamond, and I am just so excited about this year. We ended 2018 with so much momentum and just so many enrollments and just so many people launching their way into so many big things for 2019. I just see huge things coming for our team next year. So, well, this year, it's officially next year. I'm sorry. So anyway, I just really quickly wanted to go over, my team, normally, you guys, I don't know, I've been in the business for 5.5 years and normally do not have many promotions in December, normally have 0 promotions in December, and a lot of time people are losing rank. But what I saw this December is that people were not only maintaining their rank and actually growing their volume towards working towards their next rank. But we had 2 people promote this last month, and so I wanted to give them a quick shout out. So Lucille Ortiz promoted to executive. You guys, I have been seeing her name in my back office over and over again. This lady has just been absolutely killing it, so I'm so proud of her. And then Laura, you know I'm going to butcher your name, you guys. She's like from American Samoa. She's amazing, but I cannot say her last name. So Laura, I'm not even going to try. She's sponsored by Fifi, and I just absolutely love you. So congratulations. She promoted to Ruby, and you're going to have to like put that in your Facebook how to pronounce your name section because I feel like we need to know that. So congratulations. I'm so stinking proud of you guys. So one of the things that is super important that we need to talk about really quickly is we have a Biggest Loser challenge happening now. Okay, so this is a 90-day challenge, well, 90-ish day challenge, and it's called Dump Your Rump. And so it's just fun, it's lighthearted, and it's being led by myself, Sandy Fountain, Melissa Rollerson, and Tiffany Mojica. And this is a place where you and your customers can come, and you can get daily accountability, daily workouts. We will have live workouts in addition to just posted workouts. You're going to have recipes that are not only going to be like keto recipes, paleo recipes, vegetarian recipes, just like yummy recipes in general, but we're going to have recipes also that incorporate your products. So we're going to have, recipes for like the collagen and the shakes and different things like that. But this is going to be a place of high accountability, okay? So in order to get into the group, it is $20 to enter. For your loyal customers, it's $20 unless they refer a friend. If they refer a friend to join with them, it's $15 for the person who brought in the friend. And that means that you now have 2 new loyal customers, or you have an existing loyal customer ordering, and then you have a new customer who they just referred, okay? So we're going to have that. And this is going to be a place where you have to submit your weekly scale check-in, okay? So the thing I love about this is that if you are on your personal weight loss journey, which so many people are, or they just have goals, they just have goals to maybe lean out or bulk up or whatever. But I know there's quite a few people, I've talked to quite a few of you, they're like, I need to lose weight in 2019, and you need some accountability. This is going to be the place for you, okay? So the thing I love about the weekly check-in is that you have to submit a picture of your feet on the scale each Monday. And if that number hasn't changed from last week, that's on you, right? And that's going to be something for you to say, oh my gosh, 7 days have gone by and I haven't lost a pound. What have I been doing? It's time to get my head back in the game, okay? And so that's going to be a really good accountability for you. But the cool part about this is that there's going to be cash prizes, okay? So this is where it gets really good to incentivize people to stick with the challenge and actually use their products. We're going to have a first, second, and third place winner. And these winners are going to be based off of the largest percentage of weight loss. So if you have somebody who needs to lose 10 pounds and somebody who needs to lose 100 pounds, obviously their numbers are going to be drastically different, which is why we're going off of the largest percentage lost. So the first place winner is going to win 50% of the pot. The second place winner is going to win 30% of the pot. And the third place winner is going to going to earn 20% of the pot. You guys know what I'm saying. Sorry. I'm drinking my second cup of keto coffee for the day, and I feel like I really need this. I was not out that late last night, but I need some revamp for 2019. I think I'm going to add New You to my list of things I need to be taking. So we're going to have 50% winner, 30% winner, 20% winner. In addition to the money that they're going to be winning, the first place winner is going to win a bag of coffee, Fat Fighters, and a box of wraps. The second place winner is going to win a bottle of Fat Fighters and a bag of wraps. And the third place winner is going to win the money and an additional bag of wraps. Now, the cool part about this is we are also going to have a fourth winner. And that fourth winner is going to win based off of the best transformation. So if you have somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of weight to lose, but they are just working on, maybe they're working towards a fitness competition or something like that. Or maybe you have somebody who has a ton of weight to lose and they don't end up winning one of our percentage lost, but their body just looks like just drastically different. They can be our fourth winner for the best transformation, okay? And that person is going to win 3 bags of wraps in addition to cash. That I could be wrong on that. You guys are going to have to double check with me, okay? But the cool part about this is that Sandy's actually going to post the information right now in the chat to get entered into this challenge, because we extended the date that you could get started with us to the 15th. So basically, if you are a new loyal customer, we need new loyal customers to be in the computer really by, like, I would say the 5th, 6th, 7th, something like that. So their products are actually here by the 15th, but because the challenge officially kicks off on the 15th. Now, if you guys have already started, like you joined today, we're going to get you added to the group, and you guys can submit your pictures and you can start working on your results now. It basically just gives you a free 2 weeks to start working on your results, which is pretty stinking cool. Okay. The reason that we extended it to the 15th is because a lot of people, their kids are going back to school on the 7th. And I heard from a lot of moms that were like, listen, I want to be able to enjoy my vacation. I don't want to be on a diet until my kids are back in school. And so we extended the date a little bit later. So make sure that you submit your $20 to scrappinwithsandy@msn.com via PayPal, friends and family. So there's not additional fees taken out of that. And then you're going to need to text your before pictures to the number that she's going to list as well. And all of this information is in there. It's on the team page. So you guys can find this information very easily in print. And you're going to need to, take some really good before pictures. And the cool thing about this is not only is this going to propel your personal business, because you're going to be getting killer results with the products, but you are going to be bringing in a lot of loyal customers over the next week. Because if you just ask people, hey, do you want some high accountability to help you reach your goals and you can earn money while you're working on your weight loss? People say yes. That is the number one thing that I hear from people, is that they need accountability when they are on their journey. So I'm super, super excited that we are going to be doing this. So let me just scroll down here really quick. Okay, so you guys, we have an extra special guest joining us tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and unmute her. Oh, just a second. Sandy has something to add. Yes, hi.
Hey, so make sure when you guys are sending these pictures in, we want them to be able to be used as corporate approved. So we need you to make sure that it's a plain background, that the lighting's really good, that you're wearing the proper clothes, whether it be bike shorts, sports bra. I'm getting a lot of pictures that are coming through, and I'm having to tell them to redo them. So make sure the pictures, just like if you're going to do a corporate approved picture, that's what they're sending me. And the way I'm putting it too with the ones that are sending, I'm just saying that for the best transformation, you need a really good picture. Mm-hmm. So they're not having a problem sending them back. But I think if we get that out there and let them know that we definitely need good pictures without, the shower in the background or the messy bed, whatever, that would be the best.
And also, just for security reasons, let your customers know and let your team know that these pictures are not going to be shared unless these people, in print say that they can be shared. Okay. This is for these are going to be kept private until we actually have some winners, or until they say, oh my gosh, I feel amazing, let's post these, so these are not going to just be shared. We are going to have their permission before posting anything. And so they can feel confident that this is going to be a safe place where they can work on their results and not be afraid to put it all out there. Because I know that when you have 100 pounds to lose, it's scary to put that out there, but this is going to be a safe community. So it's just going to be amazing.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Sandy. Okay. So you guys, I am really, really excited to introduce you to Ambassador Diamond, Jocelyn Yates. And she has a new baby girl who's just so precious, and she looks like she's multitasking right now. But hi, Jocelyn. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. When I put out to my team who are some of your favorite top leaders to follow? Your name popped up so many times, and I know that I absolutely love following you on Instagram. And honestly, just the fact that you are one of our youngest ever ambassadors is just absolutely incredible. So if you could tell everybody who you are and where you're from and how long you've been in the business, that would be amazing.
Yeah, sorry, I'm like in the dark for a second. But so my name is Jocelyn Yates, and I originally found this business in January of 2013 at a bridal expo. I didn't have a boyfriend. I was actually modeling wedding dresses at this show, and in between the fashion shows, I entered every single free drawing that I possibly could because it was free and I was a poor college student. So I ended up winning second place. I got a phone call about a week later from a lady named Andrea, and she said, hey, you won second place. You won $5 off a wrap. So she told me what the wrap did. I was already a size 4. Once again, I was 19. I didn't need it. But when she told me I could put it on and it would make me skinnier, I was like, all right, sign me up. Like, I want some. So I was buying some wraps retail from her. I had really good results. I always tell people the difference was like before I wrapped, I felt like I had to suck in to look good in a dress. And then after, I didn't have to suck in anymore. And okay, my goal is to stick my phone on a tripod, but it's hard with a baby in my hand. But and so I had such good results that I was like, hey mom, hey sister, hey friends, like you need to try this. It made me skinnier. It's only $20. And so Andrea ended up doing a party and she said, hey, if you bring 4 people with you, I will give you a wrap for free. So I said, okay, done. I'm going to do that. So a few weeks later, she had her party and I brought 5 people with me. Isn't that crazy? People never do that, but I did. Mm-hmm. I got my free wrap. I bought a couple wraps and everybody with me bought 1 to 2 wraps. And so in this one night, we made Andrea about $300 in cash. And she finally one day was like, hey, why don't you sign up to sell this and make money off of your family and friends instead of making me all of this money? And so I was like, all right, sure, why not? And it's crazy looking back because I wasn't looking for the opportunity at all. She never even offered for me to become a customer to get the products at a discount. Like, it's just crazy. And I remember one of my friends, she was actually looking at, or she was in a business, network marketing business that cost like $600 to join. And she had convinced me to join. And I was in the process of saving up for that business. And because It Works was only $99, I already had the money. So I ended up joining and then also getting the mini booster kits that I had extra products on hand right from the get-go. And then because of that, I was able to make close to $800 in my first month between all of the wrap cash, plus then loyal customers and retail customers. And my commissions for that, so I joined halfway through March. So my very first paycheck was like $45. And then the next one after that was almost $500. And I kind of had this mentality like, okay, cool, I just made $500. I don't have to do anything. It's residual income. I don't, like it's just going to keep paying me over and over again, like they say. But I never took into consideration the fact that half of the customers that I had were going to stop ordering because I wasn't following up with them. And the other half of them were retail customers, so they were only ordering one time anyways. And so gradually that $500 dropped clear down to about $50. I think in August or September it was $50. And I was still living at home at the time, and both of my parents have told me not to join because they knew people that had tried a business like this and that they weren't successful. They never even made their money back. So they pretty much just told me like, don't have any expectations. And so.
Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, wait, you're muted. Oh, there we go.
Okay. I wanted to be able to prove my parents wrong. And so when my paycheck dropped down to $50, my mom one day looked at me and she's like, why are you still doing this? You're not making any money. And I wanted to prove her wrong. And so I knew one thing in this business, and they kept saying it over and over again. When you show up, you go up. And I decided like, okay, I've got to make this work. So I'm just going to show up to everything because that's how you do it, right? So I would show up to the conference calls that we had every week, the family call, the show me the money call. We didn't have Zooms or YouTube videos back then. We only had conference calls. And so anytime somebody was doing a conference call training, I would hop on that. If there was a party, I would go to that. If there was an in-person training, I would go to that. If there was a one team, one mission, or now we call them try-its, I would go to that. And I'd drive 2.5 hours one way to get to them. Like I knew if you showed up that you would go up. One of the things I showed up to happened to be a training 2.5 hours away down in Vegas. And Stephanie Dunn, she's my enroller's direct enroller. So I'm like super close in Stephanie's downline. And she was in this living room. And I don't remember what she taught us, but I just remember leaving, you know, when I first got to this training, I didn't think I could do the steps to success. I couldn't enroll distributors. It was too hard. And I remember like immediately, anytime there was a bonus for doing the steps to success and enrolling distributors, I was like, I can't do that. Like it wasn't even an option. Like I just threw it out the window because I didn't think I could. And so I just remember leaving this training with the belief that Stephanie had in me, thinking, okay, if I can just shoot for it and see what happens, then if it's okay if I don't make it, like, but let's just shoot for it. You're so,
She's so cute.
She's 6, so I'm just happy she's not crying. But, and so I remember, you know, at the time back in 2013, they had this bonus that if you did the steps to success, which was, you know, enrolling 4 customers and then 3 distributors and getting those distributors fast start qualified in 30 days, that you would get an additional $500 bonus for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And so I needed that money. Like I had missed my scholarship deadline for my tuition by 2 weeks. So I had to pay for my tuition out of pocket that semester. Hashtag expensive. And so with the holidays coming up, with I had just barely started dating Taylor through this whole process, and we were in the process of getting engaged. Just with crazy things happening, I ended up paying for my own ring, and like I just did not have money, and so I knew I needed the money, and so that's why I was like, let's just shoot for it and see what happens. And so at first, I was doing expos with my upline, because that's how I came into the business, expos and parties. So that's kind of how everybody worked the business way back then. And then one of the things I showed up to was this conference call on this girl that was doing the steps to success once a week on Instagram. And we were all like, oh my gosh, that's unheard of. So I remember getting on this Instagram call, and it's actually on my YouTube, and it's really funny to listen to, because me and Jade Hooper ask questions on this call, and it's where we learned Instagram. Like, it's crazy how old it is. But I learned how to use Instagram. And then after that, I almost 100% used Instagram to go diamond. But it's crazy because once I started Instagram, it clicked. It took off for me. I did the steps to success. I got that bonus. And I had this aha moment, like, okay, I just did the steps to success, and just from my 3 fast start bonuses and my commissions, I made over $500. And so I had this, like, just this, what's the word? I don't know.
A revelation.
A revelation, and like, I was just like, epiphany, there we go, that, oh my gosh, if I just do the steps to success again, would I make another $500? And so that was my goal, to do it again. And I did. And then all of a sudden I'm signing up these distributors, and I'm building a team, and I like don't know how to chart. And so I remember every single time I signed up a distributor, I'd send Stephanie a picture of my chart, and then I'd call her like, okay, where do I put them? Mm-hmm. And then finally, like, as I'm charting for diamond, I'm like 6 or 7 away, and I just noticed that she was just having me fill in the spots that were empty, and I was like, oh, I can do this. It's crazy. But anyways, it actually took me 9 months to promote to executive, and then from there It took me 11 months to go ruby. And then the next month after that, I went diamond. I went ruby to diamond in a month. But it's crazy because then I hit diamond on my year mark.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just crazy that I wasn't making any money until like 9 months in. But from there, I knew what I was doing. You know, I figured it out. I was good at social media. And I was just teaching my team what I was doing. Like, hey, I just signed up a customer with this post. Hey, this is how I talk to them. And I was just sharing that, and it was duplicatable. And I think that was something that was key to what I'm about to say. Because I went from diamonds to then presidential diamond in a year, and then presidential to ambassador the year after that. But even crazier, when I went diamond, my husband Taylor was my emerald. When I went presidential, he was my triple. And then when I went ambassador, he was my presidential. And so it's crazy what can happen when you find the system that works for you. For me, it's been social media. At first, it was only Instagram because I was afraid of what other people thought of me. My brother told me nobody wanted to see belly pictures on Facebook, so I quit posting until I went diamond. And then I was like, well, now that I'm kind of successful, then they can't get mad, right? But business didn't flock to me on Facebook. I just ended up getting over myself. But now 50-50 enrollments on Facebook and Instagram. And it's been so much fun, you know, thinking that when I first joined this business, I was single and just needed some extra college money. And then it ended up paying for my wedding ring. It ended up paying for our wedding. Now it pays for everything and this baby. So it's just so crazy how things can change. That's my story in a nutshell.
That's absolutely incredible. And I love that it took you 9 months to go executive, and that I see so many people do what you did, where they come in and they make some quick cash and then they stop working, right? And because of the residual income, it does take some months for that income to dwindle, but month after month, your check will get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until they get to a point where they're like, why am I even doing this anymore? But I love that you have that grit to just say, no, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to make this work. So what do you think clicked from you not being able to sign distributors to, I remember that Christmas, 2013 was my first Christmas in the business. And I remember that challenge. I remember that extra $500 in Christmas cash. Then I went out there and I got it because I was like, I need $500. And I need that for my Christmas. And so what do you think clicked for you from not being able to enroll anything but customers to being able to do your steps to success consistently?
Honestly, a lot of it comes down to just asking. You know, I wasn't asking people. I wasn't posting about it consistently before. And I wasn't like, what you focus on is what you're going to get. And before, like, I was legitimately focused on just getting customers because I was like, oh, well, I need $500 a month. So if I just get customers and get that $600 loyal customer bonus, then I'm good. You know, and it was Stephanie that opened my mind about how much more money I could be making if I just built a business. And so I think first and foremost, it's mindset and just knowing if you can sign up a customer, you can sign up a distributor. It's one and the same. But it really does come down to your focus and your mindset. You know, with my team, I love keeping things super, super simple. You know, there's a reason why when we're raising kids and telling kids stories, we tell them about this little engine that could. You know, you can look it up on YouTube if you've never seen it before, but you know, it's this little engine, and he comes across this train that gets broken down, and he's hauling toys to this town, and they have to go over this big mountain, but their train breaks down, and so they can't deliver the toys to these poor children in this town, but by the morning. And so a couple trains pass by and nobody will help them, and then this little blue engine comes and says, I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try. And then he goes up the hill, obviously saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And he gets up over the hill, and he's never done something like that before. You know, it's the same thing. But if he would have said, I don't think I can, I don't think I can, he wouldn't have. And that it's crazy, you know, that we teach that to our children, but then we don't think that it has anything to do with our business, right? We don't think it has anything to do with our success when it does. If the little blue engine couldn't have had that success unless he said, I think I can, I think I can, you've got to do the same thing with yourself. I can enroll distributors. I am a distributor signing machine. People are coming to me because they see the value in this business, and I'm going to help change somebody's life. It really is speaking that life and that positivity into your business is the very first step. And I learned that, and that was the switch.
I love that. That was framed in my room when I was a child, because I always used to say, I can't. And now I have a child that is exactly like me who says the same thing. We read that book a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
That is so good, though. And I think that doing those daily affirmations is huge. That really is a game changer, because it's mind over matter. And I love that you said you started asking. Hi, sweet girl. I'm so glad she's not screaming.
I know.
But I love that you said, we need to be asking. You started asking, because I was just doing a Zoom with my team this last week. And one of the things that I said is that we have not because we ask not. And I truly believe that every single person has the ability to enroll, 3, 6, 9 distributors every single month, but it's because we're not asking. And if you were to, with conviction and excitement, ask every single person who follows you on Instagram or who is your Facebook friend, I love what I do. I make money from my phone. Would you be interested in learning more about that? They're going to say yes, because people need an opportunity. They need extra income. They're looking for financial freedom, and they don't know how to get that without getting another job. So what are some of your top tips for building on Instagram in particular? Because I know that we have a lot of people who don't do Instagram, but then we have a lot of people who have switched over to Instagram just because, there's so many people like you said, like you mentioned yourself and Jade and Courtney Gore, and there's so many other people who are building exclusively on Instagram. So what are some of your top Instagram tips?
All right. I post the same on Instagram as I do Facebook. Well, I post more on Facebook, but I try to do 1 to 2 posts a day on Instagram, and then I'm in my Instagram story. I try to do like 10 minutes. So I try to post once about the products and once about the business in my story as well. And it's crazy too, because if you're consistent with posting in your story, even if you're just adding things about your life and not just posting like business and products all day, what it's going to do is the Instagram story works chronologically. And so if you are consistent, let's say even just every single hour you put something in your story. That's why having a baby's nice, because then I always have something to stick on there if I don't get ready for the day. But if you just post something every single hour, and then you had something in your story earlier in the day about the products, then every single time you post, when somebody hops on Instagram on your story, it bumps you to the top of their feed, and they're going to notice that first. So like as an example, if you guys know Morgan Martin, I follow her on Instagram, and she is so consistent with her story that almost every single time I open up my feed, her story is always the first one that I see, because she's so consistent. And so it's a really good way to get in front of all of your followers, rather than waiting for the algorithm to see who actually sees those posts. So that's one thing. And then obviously you still want to post consistently 1 to 2 times a day. And then you want to make sure that you're adding people consistently. I have this phrase with my team that the people that you add this month are the people that join next month. So you want to make sure that you're always consistently adding people. And my goal is to try to do about 200 to 300 people a day. But honestly, it's posting, it's adding new people, adding to your story, and then I message people. So all the people that answer my polls, all the people that comment on my posts, all the people that message me, obviously I'm messaging those people. And then anyone that's following me, I know they know what I'm posting. They can see it, or they at least went to my profile at one point and decided to click follow for a reason. So I go through and I'll message the people that are following me, and I'll just ask them. I use a pretty generic message. I have it. I'll just post it. Let's see, what is it? It's simple. It's pretty much just saying like, hey, I think you're super pretty. I was wondering if you by chance would be interested in being a 90-day product model for me. You'd get it at my discount. What do you think? Something like that. And I will just message anyone that's following me that message. And then if they're interested, cool. What I do then is I send them a message that says, it's so fun, doesn't take any of your time. They're all Natural Works products. I name like my top 5 best sellers. And then I ask them, do any of those interest you? Or I have a work from home position if you're available, if you want to make some extra money too. And so I really love that because it gives me potential distributors without me having to like message them of just about one thing. So then they can tell me what they're interested in. But it's cool too, because if you're doing that consistently, then like I have people on my team that message 50 to 100 people a day, and they're signing up like 5 customers a week. And so it's really cool to see that the consistency is bringing the customers. And then with that too, if you're consistent with posting and adding to your story, that's another outlet of ways that you're going to get those customers and distributors.
Mm-hmm. So you, are you guys doing host to post at all on Instagram?
Nope.
Okay.
We've just been doing the host to post on Facebook, but I mean, you totally can. The key with doing host to post on Instagram, however, I mean, I know you can like save people's posts to collections, so you could do it that way, but I always just tell people to tag me in the photo and in the caption, because then you can go onto your profile and just click post I'm tagged in and see all of your host to post right there.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So I love that you mentioned some numbers. You said 50 to 100 messages a day equals about 5 customers a week. So when you have somebody that will send out, you know, maybe 50 messages a week, how do you, how do you approach that with maybe somebody who doesn't have that much time to send out, 50 messages a day?
If you're really, quit pulling my hair. If you're really intentional with messaging, you can get it done really quickly. So what I do is I honestly do it all right before I go to bed. Because that's the time when she's not crazy. Yeah. And so I will, I'll just pull up my followers and I'll scroll down until I see a chunk of people that I haven't messaged. I unfollow people when I message them because then I can keep track of who I've already messaged. And so I'll just sit and I'll just, with my I have it in my text replacement, but I'll just copy and paste that message and I'll send it to the 50 people. Or I know some people, if you want to know why people have multiple accounts, is so you can message more. So sometimes you get like blocked, you might only be able to message like 10 or 20 people at a time. Then, that's when you would want to set timers on your phone to where, okay, right before I get out of bed, I'm going to message those 15 people. My lunch break, I'm going to message 15 people. After I get off work, 15 people. Before I go to bed, 15 people. And so it's just, if you commit to it, you'll figure out. And I think that's the key to this business too, is that if you have a hard time finding time to work the business, you're not committed. You've just got to commit to it, and then you'll just figure out how to do it. So, but for me, I just bust them out when she's asleep. That's pretty much the easiest time for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so say that again for those of us who are having trouble like comprehending. Okay, so you, and I'm just going to ask you some questions about this. When you message someone, you unfollow them.
Yep.
And they're still going to receive your message because they're following you, yes?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that gives you the ability to not use an app to unfollow. You just unfollow manually as you message.
Yep.
I love that.
So just focus on adding people, messaging, and posting.
I love that.
And following up.
So, and then if they do become a customer or a distributor, do you then follow them back or no? Because
sometimes not. Yeah. But honestly, do you make more money when you sit and like and comment on your distributors' posts or potentials, right?
Right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. I love that. I've never actually heard that before, that you unfollow when you message. So I think that that's a huge tip. Do you guys like that tip? I know that everybody is getting so much out of this Zoom. Okay. So, yes, they all love it. Okay. Is there anything I'm thinking? I'm like, what else? Okay. So this is the last thing I'm going to ask you because I don't want to take up a ton of your time. And I know that you have Taylor and your baby. So what are your what are your top 5 non-negotiables that you have to do for your business or your mind every single day?
Personal development, posting, adding, messaging, following up. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you recommend for personal development? What's your favorite right now?
So this is like one of my goals for this year. I started last month and I almost did it all month long. I just started towards the beginning of December, not the very beginning, but my goal is to read 1 book a week. So I think I'm on like book 5 or 6 already. What I've been doing that's been easier for me is I've been alternating between audiobook and actual book. Because then if I'm taking too long on like the audio or the actual, if I'm doing both during the day, then I'll get 1 book done by the end of the week and then the other one the next week. And so like as an example, last week I read John Maxwell's what is it called? How Successful People Think. And that one's a pretty quick read. It's only like 124 pages. With the intro, it's a little bit longer, but I just was like, I'll just read 20 pages a day. And that's divided by 7, and so that's just what I did. I did that right before I went to bed, is just read that. And like when I read a book, I like have a pen and underline things and write notes. And then audiobooks, right now I'm listening to Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. That one's like 12 hours long or something. So it's taken me a little bit longer. I think I've been listening to it for almost 3 weeks now. I didn't listen to it hardly at all last week though, but my goal is to finish it this week. So I think I have like 5 hours left, and I'm intentional with it. So like as I was cooking dinner before this, or when I'm getting ready for the day or driving, it's playing. And so I think it's just being intentional. And I think really pay attention to how you learn best. Because I know for me, listening to audiobooks, I don't get as much out as if I'm reading. And so I think it's really good that I'm actually doing both, because then I can kind of, be on the go and still get something, but then also read and get even more.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so you guys, her list was personal development, posting, messaging, adding, following
up. Yep.
So write those things down. Those really will make your business go around. And I told you I wasn't gonna ask you one more. I have one more question for you.
You're fine.
So because I've been in the season of this business when I have brand new babies, and I had 2 babies in 13 months. So I went from brand new baby to brand new baby plus a baby. I don't know how that works, but anyway, I know that your time spent now is drastically different than it was when you were building to ambassador. So when you went from diamond to presidential and presidential to ambassador in a year, how much time are you putting into your business daily? Because I know that obviously it's not the same amount of time that you're able to dedicate now, but how many hours a day on average were you putting in when you promoted to those ranks so quickly?
I don't know. And I love this question, because I think a lot of people get so focused on how am I going to do it? How much work is it going to take? What do I got to do? If you focus more on why, the how takes care of itself. And I remember like Pam would say that all the time, and I just like roll my eyes like, come on, like it's not that easy. And but it is. I look back and I was so crystal clear on my why and like what my goals were. I don't know how it happened half the time. One thing I can tell you is that January of 2014, was it 14? No, January, no, when was it? Shoot, when was it? No, yeah, so January of 2015, I was a double diamond, so my paycheck was like, $6,000. I remember I wanted to be the youngest ambassador, and I knew that I had to do it before I turned 21 because Courtney bored. And so I wanted to be the youngest, but she was like 20 and she was getting close too. So I was like, all right, I've got to do it before I turn 21. And I remember calculating it out. It was in January, so 10 months until October. My birthday was in November, so I was like, all right, for me to go ambassador, what do I got to do? So I pulled out an ambassador chart when I was a double diamond, and I figured out how many distributors I needed to fill in that chart. And it was 278. And so when I divided that out, it was 27, 28 to 30 distributors a month, right? And so ever since I set that goal and made that my deadline, I signed up 28 or more distributors every single month. I don't know how, but I think it's because I had that crystal clear vision of where I wanted to go. I didn't promote to ambassador until the next year, but it's fine. But it's just being so crystal clear with your goals that's when magic starts happening. People just start coming to you. I'll never forget when I went diamond. I was about $300 away. This look done. And I needed, I was $300 away, and I just remember saying a prayer, and I was posting, and I was messaging and following up with people, and I had 2 people text me at the exact same time. One of them wanted 140 products, and another wanted 160 on products. And guess what? I was done. Everyone on the 27th. Isn't that cool? That's amazing. So I can't tell you how many hours it took me, but I know that the very first step, whatever your goal is you've got to have it in front of you. How many distributors away? How much volume do you need? Whatever your best seller product is. So let's say your best selling product is the coffee and the greens. Figure out the BV of that, and then divide it by how much volume you need, and you'll know, okay, I need this many distributors, and this many customers. And then you have something to work towards. Figure out when your goal is, when do you want to make that goal happen, and then you'll know how many customers and distributors a month you need to aim for. And then once you have that goal, you know what to do. It's talking to people.
Yeah, we call that reverse engineering your promotion, right? You just work backwards, figure out what you need, and work backwards. I absolutely love that. Well, I know that you have family to get back to, but thank you so much for being on our Zoom tonight. We really, really appreciate it. You guys, make sure you go show her some love on her Facebook page. Jocelyn, seriously, just means the world that we got to start off our 2019 by learning from, honestly, I think you are one of the best on Instagram, and I just love following you. So really, really appreciate you.
I do have one last tip that I thought of before, and I knew I wanted to share it.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are good with customers, but you're struggling with distributors, I challenge you with this $49 kit to ask everybody. Just message them and just be like, hey, whether you have their information or before you're going to send them to the website, just like, I have no idea if you'd be interested in this, but what do you think about getting started as a distributor for $49? And you're going to have my help to get your first 4 customers. You're going to get a $100 shopping spree to get the products that you want for free, and you're going to make extra money. What do you think? If they say no, they say, okay, cool, no problem. Let's still get you your product. But just ask. You never know.
Yep, absolutely. You have not because you ask not. And you start asking that question, I guarantee you're going to be talking to so many potential distributors, and you're going to start signing people, and you're going to start filling your chart, filling those boxes for your next promotion. So yes. Awesome. Well, feel better, baby girl.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Thanks for hopping on, Jocelyn, and thank you guys for being on with us tonight. We'll talk to you soon.